Hey Leslie, let's check this out. So we got to find the LCM, or the least common multiple, between 336 and 238. So a couple things. When we were talking about all this factor tree stuff today, those are factors, right? So we have a number that's a product, and we break that down into two factors. Two factors would be 3 and 4 in this case. When we're talking about multiples, if we need to find multiples of, say, 4 and 6, well, what we do is we say, okay, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 is 16. We do the same with 6, 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, and so on. So those are multiples, and we look for the least common multiple, the lowest multiple common to both of those. So that's what we're doing here, okay? Now, to maybe confuse that a little bit more, what we're really going to do, because I'm not going to list 238, 500, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to keep going like that. We're going to use the prime factor method to help us. Okay, but just keep that straight in your mind. We're using factors here, but we're going to put them together in a special way such that we find the lowest common multiple. Okay, and it's a lot better than just listing them like I did. So what I did before I started the video, I just did a prime factor tree on 336 and 238. 336 comes out to 3 times 2 to the 4th power, or just 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. 238 come out to be 2 times 7 times 17. That one took me a while. I actually had to Google that, so full disclosure on that one. So here's what we do. To find the LCM, the least common multiple between these two numbers, we're going to list all of the numbers, all of the factors here, but I'm not going to duplicate any of them. Okay, so what I mean by that is I'm going to include, I'll highlight them. I'm going to include this 3 as part of my answer. I'm going to include 2 to the 4 as part of my answer. And I'm going to include 7. So I'd multiply all those together. Over here, I'm not going to include this 2 because I have, that's a terrible color to use, but because I'm including 1, 2 already, I'm not going to include this 2 as well. Because I'm including a 7, I'm not going to include this 7. I'm not doing any duplicates. So that's the play here. Don't duplicate anything. I don't have a 17 though, so I will include that in my answer. Okay, so effectively, all of this multiplies to give me 336. I know that, 336. Now if I multiply 336 by 17, I'm going to get the LCM. So if I get the old calculator out, 336 times 17, 5712, and there's your LCM. Okay, 5,712. There it is. So that's the play, and that's the confusing part, but give this a try, especially with these huge numbers on the test. It's going to throw something like that at you anyway, but just try it out. Do a factor tree, no duplicates. So the first number, you're basically going to include the whole number anyway, so you could really just do the factor tree on the second one, but it's nice to know, you kind of got to do the first one too, I guess, not to, just so you know what you're not going to include. And then if it's duplicates, like this one was a 2, so I redded that up, I'm not going to include that. Okay, so hopefully that helps you on that one. Alrighty, let's check out this next one. Now we have to find the blood alcohol content or level of a person using this formula where the weight of the person is 167 pounds and N, which is here and here, is just the number of drinks. So for one drink, and again, we could really just erase this W because we know the weight of the person, it's always going to be the same. It's always going to be 167. Okay, so for one drink, let's sub that in. That's going to equal 600 times 1, which is really just 600. And then down below, we're going to have 167 times 0.6 times 1 plus 169, all still in brackets. Get a better color. So simplifying the top, that's pretty easy, 600 on the top. And down below, we're going to have to do a little order of operations. So we're going to have 0.6 here, okay, plus 169. So 0.6 times 169. Get the old add machine out there. That's going to be, that comes out to 101.4. So we have 167 times 101.4 on the bottom. And then I'll just simplify that again on in the denominator in the bottom, 167 times 101.4. Just clear that. 167 times 101.4, and we get 16,933.8. Okay, so that's a phenomenally huge number, but remember it's in the denominator, so it's 600 divided by that. Okay, so let me pull that over just so I can see it. Get the old calculator going again. We got 600 divided by 16,933.8. So there's the BAC of a 167 pound person after one drink. It would be 0.04. Let's call that 0.04. That's the blood alcohol. I forget what they want you to round to. Round appropriately. Round to 3 decimal places as needed. So there you go. So we should probably have done that. So back up to the old calculator. So the 3 decimal places would be 0.035. Rounding appropriately. Okay? So I hope that helps, buddy. Run the play on that. Let me know if you have any other questions.